It's your daily dose of Donna. Welcome to the show. Today is Wednesday, February 26th. It's hump day. We have made it to the middle of the week. It feels like a journey. It feels like a destination. It feels like we will never get to the end of the week on weeks like today or weeks like this week. Doesn't it feel on weeks like this week? I mean, seriously, this is a week that it feels like an insurmountable journey because it's a 5-dayer. It's a 5-dayer. We haven't had a 5-day week, I feel like, in a long time. But we can get through this, you guys. We can get through this. And today's going to be a toughie. We have a lot to cover. A lot to cover. So thank you so much for everyone that is here. Welcome in. I see you in the live chat. Hello to all of you from all over the country. Thank you so much for being here. We have so much to cover. So we have to get right into it because we've got breaking news left and right. We unfortunately have a tragic death at a very young age. Michelle Trachtenberg has died at 39. That just broke this morning. We are going to get into that. We have a Real Housewife, our third Real Housewife sent to prison. Real Housewife Karen Huger has been sent to jail. And I am grateful for that after her fourth DUI that we talked about yesterday on the show. We'll talk about that, of course, as well. Blake Lively is she's punching low. She's punching low and she's coming after us. And to that, I say, no, ma'am, no. No, ma'am, no. And we're going to talk about how Blake Lively is coming after content creators. And you know what? When you start a war, you gotta accept that people are going to fight back. So, Blake, You can't expect to open up these doors and then expect to say, but I want it to be done in the way that I want it to be done, this way and that way. And she's just getting a little too picky about the way that she's going about this little legal battle of hers. So we're going to tear that apart. And Miss Sutton Stracke loves to talk about her money, but I just don't believe that we should be weaponizing our battles with the thickness of our wallet. Thickness of other things, maybe, but not the thickness of our wallet. So let's not do that, Miss Sutton. All on today's, say it with me, daily dose of Donna. Welcome to the show. Before we get deep and deeper into the show, I have to say, it is my number one doser, Ray's birthday. Ray, she is the moderator of the Facebook group. She, I think, is number one doser. She's been with me from the beginning. She helps with the newsletter. She is helping plan Dosers Live here in Los Angeles in August. She is such a good friend to me. She's a good friend to so many of the dosers. She's here in the live chat. If you're part of the Facebook group, she is a supporter. She is an encourager. She's a wonderful dog mom. She's a wonderful mom herself. Shout out to Ray. It is her birthday in Florida. Ray, it's your birthday. I wish I had a better song for you today. Ray. Okay, that's the song for you today. Let's move on to the show. Okay, I have to get into everything. Let's start with the breaking news. Michelle Trachtenberg, I will tell you, my heart stopped when I saw this. Anytime you see a tragic death of a young person, it always will stop you in your tracks. There's no question. When you see someone that dies too young, too soon, it's going to be like, wait, what? Wait, what? You know that little song? This is really, truly such a sad thing to see, especially just from this moment. It's so, just the gossip girl of it all. I was like, wait, what's happening? Michelle Trachtenberg, for those of you that don't know who Michelle Trachtenberg is, I mean, I don't know. I think she's like a millennial. She's like a millennial person because look, I'm 1981, born 1981. Michelle Trachtenberg was born 1985. She's pronounced dead at 39. I'm 43. So we're basically essentially the same age. But she was known, her big credits were Gossip Girl and Buffy the Vampire Slayer. So I grew up watching both those shows. That's like, I guess, why I feel so connected to someone like Michelle. And so many of you also, I feel, are connected to her if you're a little bit older, my age, or a little bit younger. She also, though, was known for shows like Harriet the Spy on Nickelodeon. She was on, I think, a show called Pete and Pete when she was younger. Michelle Trachtenberg has worked since she was, I found out, 3 years old. And I have been in casting, as you know, from before. And Michelle Trachtenberg was on every single list we did ever in casting. And I've hired Michelle Trachtenberg many times throughout my casting history as a guest star, as a series regular on failed pilots. Michelle was the go-to girl. She never auditioned for us. I can't remember her ever coming into audition. And if she did, it would never be just for casting, and it wouldn't even maybe it would be straight to producers, but it was probably straight to the network or straight to the studio because she had such a name. She really didn't have to like fight too hard to get roles. She was this offer only type of an actress. Michelle had such a resume under her belt at such a young age. You know, she was so talented. And what's crazy is that, you know, she kind of, so let me just read the story and then we can kind of dive deep and you know, speculate or whatever. But I don't really want to speculate because we don't have the answers, but I'll just read to you what Page 6 has reported as of this moment. I just updated the article. So if they have any new updates, I haven't seen. But it says as of this moment, she has died. She was 39. They say the Harriet the Spy star was found Wednesday. That's today, obviously, in her New York City apartment near Columbus Circle. Per sources, and this part is tragic, it's a mother's worst nightmare. Per sources, Trachtenberg's mother discovered her daughter's body. Oh my God. I can't even. I will pull up a picture of Michelle just so you guys can actually see what she looks like. I want to make sure that you guys have a little bit of a visual of sometimes I kind of think, you know, it's hard for some people to kind of remember. This is her in on Page 6. She's been, like I said, she was on Buffy here. This is her as Georgina on Gossip Girl. So many of you guys are doing Gossip Girl rewatches since the Blake Lively news. And this is just really tragic. But a mother to find your daughter is just one of the most tragic situations I can't even imagine. She was found in her apartment called One Columbus Place. It's a 51-story luxury apartment complex in Manhattan's Central Park South neighborhood. It says the actress died from natural causes, sources told the Post, but her official cause of death has yet to be revealed. It says we also learned recently that she underwent a liver transplant. Sources says Trachtenberg's death is not being investigated as suspicious. Page 6 has reached out to the New York coroner's rep and a rep for comment, coroner and a rep for comment. Okay. Recently, I did do some research right before the show. She has recently defended her looks, telling her haters, explain to me how I looked sick. Explain to me how I look sick. So basically what had happened, she had posted a picture. I found this one video where she had posted this picture. Let me show you this video. This is on
Buffy the Vampire.
the list. It's a YouTube video, and this kind of just goes through, I don't even know how true it is or whatever, but this is a video that goes through a little bit of her story, and it's calling the tragic real life story of Michelle Trachtenberg, but it was created 10 months ago. So I think it's a little clickbait. It talks about how she was bullied as a kid. Obviously, this is when she was alive. This was created. So it's making it sound like she had this horrible life and it was after she was born. I mean, before she had died. So like I kind of feel like it's a little clickbaity, but it talks about, you know, some struggles she had when she worked on Buffy. She was injured when she worked on the show or the movie Ice Princess. It talks about when she had a friend named Nick Ackerman. He was a musician in 2013 or something, and then he died, and so it talks about how she really struggled through his death. And then over here, it goes through a period, and I'll play this for you, when she was during the Me Too movement, and it was Joss Whedon. And I don't know if you remember during the Me Too movement, we're talking so much about this in these last few weeks with Blake Lively. And Joss Whedon, that's Whedon, was one of the directors that was highly, highly criticized and called out for a toxic work environment and a toxic director during this period of time. He was from Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I'm going to let you guys watch this part. This is from, like I said, The List on YouTube. And it talks a little bit about how she was kind of impacted by this toxic director.
With the birth of the Me Too movement, several actors felt empowered and supported enough to share the inappropriate behavior higher-ups subjected them to while on set. Among those publicly outed was Joss Whedon, the creator and producer behind Buffy the Vampire Slayer, who reportedly subjected his cast and crew to a toxic environment while filming. Sarah Michelle Gellar, who played the lead character, spoke out on Instagram in February 2021, sharing that she no longer wished to be associated with the show's creator. Gellar also noted that she stood with all survivors of abuse. That same day, Michelle Trachtenberg reshared Gellar's statement in her own Instagram post and added a caption that detailed her experience with Whedon. In her cryptic post, Trachtenberg called out Whedon for his, quote, not appropriate behavior, before adding, there was a rule. He's not allowed in a room alone with Michelle again. While she has yet to address the accusations against Whedon publicly or make any more of her own, it would appear that she, along with many of the women on the set of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, endured unpleasant experiences while filming. From 2008 to 2012.
It's pretty interesting looking back at this now. Like, I don't know why, but like, it's pretty interesting. This was a creep, Joss Whedon, from what I've heard just during that time. I wonder if it puts things in perspective for someone like a Blake in this moment. There's also later on in this, let you guys kind of fast forward, it talks about the concern over her appearance. Let's watch this.
Trachtenberg played Georgina Sparks on the CW teen drama Gossip Girl. The series was rebooted in 2022, with Trachtenberg reprising her role. However, her return as Sparks had some fans of the show noting how the actor had aged. It had been 10 years after all, and Trachtenberg was now in her late 30s. But it wasn't until the actor began posting selfies to Instagram in late 2023 that fans became concerned about her appearance. Some comments on the actor's...
I just want to kind of point out, just notice, like, and I hate to do this, but this was the picture she posted. This is Alexa Vega from Spy Kids, and they were friends since they were kids. They were both child actors. And as you can see, it's very clear Michelle Trachtenberg's appearance was diminishing. This picture was in 2023, so this is about a year ago, and her hair is clearly falling out. I mean, it's very, very clear to your eyes. So I guess I wasn't following her on Instagram, so I wasn't noticing this, but I guess people were saying that.
Her appearance. Some comments on the actor's social media accounts noted how thin she looked. One Instagram user even commented, Michelle, have you gone to a doctor? It looks like you have jaundice. In response to the overwhelming criticism of her looks, Trachtenberg fired back, writing to one commenter, explain to me how I look sick. Did you lose a calendar and not realize I'm not 14? I'm 38. How sad for you to leave such a comment.
Basically, I'm 917,1812 years old.
In mid-January of 2024, Trachtenberg posted another smiling selfie on Instagram, alongside the caption, fun fact, this is my face. Why do you have to hate? Get a calendar. While some of her followers flooded her posts with support, others have continued to analyze and critique her appearance based on her photos, despite Trachtenberg's insistence that she's perfectly healthy.
Listen, I will never, ever judge her appearance, if she had any sort of sickness. I have no idea. Someone's saying to go to TMZ because apparently, according to law enforcement saying to TMZ, this is according to TMZ at this moment, it says law enforcement sources tell TMZ that Michelle Trachtenberg's body may have rejected the liver transplant she received within the last year, causing complications. We're told Michelle's mother found her. So apparently, okay, according to TMZ, and this is TMZ, I'm assuming this is correct, but TMZ, sometimes they get a little crazy here because TMZ, remember, they posted pictures of Liam Payne's body right after he fell off or jumped off, we don't know, the balcony, right? It says, we're told police and paramedics responded to a call for a woman in cardiac arrest and found Michelle unresponsive. A separate source tells us the actress had received a liver transplant recently within the last year. Why? Oh, we're told Michelle was out with friends Thursday night of last week at Sardiano's. So, wow. Liver transplants. Why do you get a liver transplant? A million reasons, right? Has nothing to do necessarily with alcohol. A lot of people have liver issues for a million reasons. So you can't necessarily assume anything until we have answers. Let's not assume. Let's just hope and pray for her family, for her friends, that she is okay. She was out to dinner just a week ago, and let's hope that she, her family is surrounded with love. Losing someone close to you, no matter how, is a horrible, horrible thing. And that is shocking news. And it's just so wild. We're talking about Gossip Girl every single day. Just the other day, we did a whole thing on the SAG Awards, right? Was it yesterday or Monday or whatever? We just did the SAG Awards, XOXO, Gossip Girl. And here we are talking about Blake Lively and Leighton Meester and Gossip Girl. And now we're talking about this. Like, it's just so incredibly, incredibly sad. So yeah, Saba says in the comments, my grandfather never had a drop of alcohol and had severe liver issues. Interesting. So let's just see what happens. I have not seen anything. I have no idea, and I don't want to assume or speculate or whatever. So we'll see what happens there. But just, it's so close to home when you know that, like, I just remember her so well, and she just was on my TV so many years, and we all did. Like, go back and watch Gossip Girl. She was phenomenal as Georgina, just phenomenal. So on Gossip Girl, and it's not. Thank you guys so much. You're so sweet, Donna. I'm sorry for it. It's not even my loss. It's everyone's loss. Like, it's her family's loss, right? And I'm sure a lot of people from Gossip Girl are going to reach out and say and publicly leave statements, and Buffy the Vampire Slayer and her agents and managers, et cetera, et cetera. Okay. Anyway, let's move on to another breaking story. Before we do that, as you guys know, this is the week of so many beautiful, amazing companies supporting Daily Dose of Donna, in addition to all of you guys supporting Daily Dose of Donna. And I appreciate so many of you guys supporting. But you know who is supporting? Bras. They are supporting our breasts. Yes, February is the month of love. We're coming up on the end of the month of love. Are you guys going to bring love into March? I hope so. There is nothing I love more than treating myself to comfortable shapewear, and HONEYLOVE is the best shapewear on the planet. Life is too short to feel squeezed and squished. Lucky for you, you don't have to. Today's episode is brought to you by HONEYLOVE, the brand that's completely reimagined shapewear. HONEYLOVE uses targeted compression to sculpt and smooth exactly where you want it and ease off where you don't. The result, shapewear that's not just effective, but comfortable all day long. It works with your body and not against it. The difference? You'll feel it and see it immediately. Plus, their shapewear has flexible, here we say it, boning. Every time I say that word, my mind goes to just weird places. Anyone else? To prevent rolling up or down, no more sneaky adjustments in public after a night of dancing, and with lingerie-inspired details, you'll want to show it off. And here's the best part. For a limited time, you can save 20% off your entire order with our exclusive link, honeylove.com/dailydose. Treat yourself and support the show by shopping at honeylove.com/dailydose. Start your year off right with HONEYLOVE. Trust me, you and your breasts deserve it. Speaking of breasts, and we'll get into Real Houses of Beverly Hills soon. Did anyone see Jennifer Tilly's breast last night on Watch What Happens Live? That's all I could watch. I could not get my eyes off Jennifer Tilly's boobies. Is that like a little, is that harassment? Blake, don't come after me. Did I not bring my clip? I really, really, really want to put my hair up. Guess I'm going to have to go through my pencil. Patricia says, Donna, you made me feel uncomfortable. Sue. All right, well, add it to the list because Blake Lively is about to sue me as well, it sounds like. Let's get into the new gossip with Blake Lively. This girl and her team don't know how to stop. Where do we even start? Where do we start? It's like it doesn't end with, I mean, that it sounds like I'm about to make a joke about it doesn't end with us, but it really doesn't end with her. It doesn't end. So let's go into what's going on here with Blake Lively and the new drama with Blake Lively and all the paperwork that's happening. In case you guys got a little bit confused, there was a lot going on yesterday. And I was trying really hard to like keep it small and tight and nice and light, but there was a lot happening. So basically, two major updates. The legal paperwork that was filed is about these protective orders. As you guys know, Blake Lively opened the door. She opened the can of worms of this lawsuit. She filed the complaint. Justin Baldoni filed back, and then she sued essentially or officially for sexual harassment and for this smear campaign. But now she's saying, I want to sue. I want to do this, but I don't want to do it the way that you want to do it. I want to do it the way I want to do it. So I want to do it, but I also want to put all these restrictions on how I do it. So I'm going to give you guys a little bit of an update from Legal Bites. Legal Bites is, I like to highlight different creators, and Legal Bites is on Twitter. And I'm assuming it's a she. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. The avatar is a girl. Says yesterday, Baldoni's legal team filed a letter to the court responding to Lively's letter regarding a dispute over the proposed protective order to be used. So as you know, they wanted to protect their friends. They wanted to protect all their high-powered friends, the Taylor Swifts and the Hugh Jackmans, et cetera, of the world. And they also wanted to protect these unnamed witnesses in the case, right? All of these unnamed witnesses. In a nutshell, Baldoni's side wants to use the court's model protective order, meaning the basic protective order that's appropriate in these cases. But Lively's side only wants the attorneys to see what's in these text messages or what's in these communications, meaning Blake Lively doesn't even want Justin Baldoni to see it. She doesn't even want Steve Sarowitz to see it. She doesn't want anyone to see it. Forget you and I. She doesn't even want the defendants she doesn't want Jen Abel to see it. She only wants Brian Friedman and the attorneys to see it, and her side, of course. She only wants AEO, the attorney eyes only designation. It's really, really strange. Really strange. Why is that? And it doesn't really make sense. But in these court cases, you're supposed to, through discovery, you're supposed to be able to get all of the information from each other. And so now, why should one get confidential or attorney's eyes only? Confidential is when information is shared with the opposing side, but you can't share outside of your general legal team and some witnesses. Attorney's eyes only meaning you can only share with the opposing counsel, but you can't share even to the party. You can't even share to the people involved. So the attorney can get the information, but they can't even talk to Justin about it. So meaning, like, can you imagine that? Brian's like, oh, I have a text message basically saying that Justin Baldoni is totally fine and has done nothing, but wants to like get him in trouble for A, B, and C, but I can't tell Justin this. How could this even work? It doesn't make any sense. Legal Bite says, now I should note that there are situations where attorney's eyes only is totally warranted. In fact, it's very common in intellectual property cases between two competing businesses where discovery somehow starts to involve trade secrets. But even in cases where an AEO designation is common, it needs to be used surgically. So it would make sense if they were, for example, in competing businesses, where if you release this information, now this business could say, oh, now I know the secret to their recipe for their amazing marinara sauce. So now I can go and create our marinara sauce and we can be the number one marinara sauce on the planet. Do you know what I'm saying? But this is obviously not the case. It's not like Justin Baldoni is going to take this information and now be able to be a better Blake Lively than she ever was. Hell no. Who would want to do that? She wins at being the best Blake Lively there is. Don't worry. No one's ever going to beat her at being the best Blake Lively. She wins. So why are they arguing? Lively's side is advocating for the order that uses that attorney eyes only. Baldoni is saying that, that's all BS because she's already made these public. And Lively and Reynolds are also making public appearances. And clearly they've also already done even the SNL experience. So they even use the SNL moment and the joke, the funny little ha-ha thing, what are you talking about? What's going on in our lives? Ryan Reynolds, I'm a creep. You know how much I feel about Ryan Reynolds, right? Lauren just posted a video that Lively has a new attorney. Interesting. Tell me who. So I'll look it up in just a second. So Ryan Reynolds did that Saturday Night Live joke. And in that moment, he made a decision, a very, very idiotic decision, according to Baldoni's attorneys, which basically says, hey, I'm going to choose in this moment to be the funny guy, to be the super, super funny guy. And I'm going to go in the world to try to get some press and to be like, everything's funny. I'm cool. I'm funny. I'm Deadpool. I'm Ryan Reynolds. Nothing bothers me. Nothing bothers Van City Reynolds. Wrexham. Aviation Gin. I'm good. I want all the eyes on me. I want people to laugh at my expense. I want people to be like, whatever. And I don't give a shit about my wife. I don't care about her lawsuit. I'm not going to consult with attorneys and make sure it's okay. I don't think he did. And the second he did that, he possibly, in that moment, completely ruined her chances at playing this victim. Because in that moment, Brian Friedman is saying, you don't have the right to privacy. You're making public jokes. And they're putting that in this lawsuit. They're even linking it in this lawsuit. And Baldoni's team is saying, if you want privacy over the details of the case, the parties have to act like they want privacy over the details of the case. You're not acting like it. You're going on SNL and joking over it. So Baldoni's side is saying that we can talk about more discovery limitations under the protective order at a later date if it's warranted. So they're not saying we never can talk about it, but we're saying right now that's not a possibility. And they're going, forward at that. So that's number one, right? It seems strange that she's going so hard in this, but clearly they're very, very anxious. Lively's team is very, very anxious that stuff is going to come out to ruin their standing in their business, they're standing in Hollywood, to ruin their credibility, something. And it says in their February 20th letter, it says Lively's team highlights specifically their concerns that Steve Sarowitz is going to be able to see this. Something about Steve Sarowitz is really, really scary to them. And something about his money. And they're really worried that he's going to be taking them down. So Legal Bite says this has me wondering if Lively Reynolds are more concerned about the eyes of Sarowitz than anyone else, since he's talked about being willing to destroy them to protect Wayfarer Studios. And since they have a number of business ventures, I'm wondering if this could include plans for their own Hollywood studio ventures. And then Legal Bite says, but either way, I want to reiterate just how dumb and short-sighted it was for Reynolds to make this joke at SNL 50. And if you think Baldoni's team is only going to use this joke against Lively Reynolds in this specific instance, you'll be very surprised. I suspect it's going to come up multiple times in this litigation moving forward. One joke could ruin everything. Very, very interesting. Now, another thing that came up was that this article that came up in Variety, where Blake Lively's attorneys are warning against online content creators that are parroting Justin Baldoni's lines. Okay, that's us. That's me. It's me. Hi, I'm the problem. It's me. That's what Ryan Reynolds would think. He'd be like, they're talking about me. That's what narcissists think, right? On Variety, it says the battle between It Ends With Us co-stars Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni revolves around questions of harassment, consent, celebrity, and the rules of warfare. Little surprise then that it's become chum for online content creators. And it could get worse. That's why Lively has asked a judge to keep certain information confidential and away from the armchair legal commentators of TikTok and YouTube. I really wish I did have an armchair right now. Like, Dax Shepard was onto something with his armchair expert. Oh, by the way, Dana is asking, oh, maybe it's Donna, because now I'm Dana. Donna. Are you still a bot on IG? This is crazy. This is a little side note. You know how I'm on Instagram jail? They say I'm in Instagram jail. I cannot make any comments or write on threads until February 26th. It's February 26th, and I'm still not allowed. Still not allowed. February 26th. What calendar are they using? Even in Hawaii, it's February 26th. Is there a place in the world right now where it's not February 26th? It's 11:35 Los Angeles time. Seriously? I am not a bot. I can act like a bot, but I am not a bot. Okay, let's keep going with the article. That's why at the outset of this litigation, oh, no, I already read that. So last week she sought this protective order, and that's what this is all about, the protective order. But specifically, it's saying that the protective order is needed because the existence of certain online content creators who parrot the Wayfarer party's lines, and they cited Perez Hilton and Candace Owens. Okay, so Candace Owens and Perez Hilton have officially made the legal paperwork, and this is going to give Candace Owens 475 more episodes. This is all she needed. Do you understand that Perez Hilton literally do you know how big his eyes got when he read this? Now he's not even just in the paperwork, but he's in Variety. They're giving them content. This should not have happened because this is it's giving us content to talk about it. Do you know what they're like, I think they're trying to shut us up by giving us content. It's not working. I feel like they should have just not said anything at all. Do you know what I'm saying? I think it's a good thing for them just to not say anything, because I feel like 100% Candace Owens will milk this. So will Perez. I would too. If they mentioned Donna Bowling or Zach Peter or David Neal or Popcorn Planet or the 500 other people that talk about this every single day, we would have a party. Candace Owens, Perez Hilton, if I were them, I would literally do 10 videos on this. What are they doing talking about this? So they cited Perez Hilton and Candace Owens and noted that Hilton and Baldoni have both been represented by attorney Brian Friedman. So I didn't know that Candace was actually repped by Brian. I know Perez was, I know Megyn Kelly was, and I know that Bethany Frankel was. I didn't know personally that Trent says Perez still hasn't bought a comb. He does have a little bit of wild hair. That's so funny. Chloe says Drake is suing Kendrick for the Super Bowl. Can't wait to cover that. Is he also going to try to get his slipper? Did you see that they found the slipper that he threw at the drone in the water? I laughed my ass off when I saw that. Wait, I'm so behind on comments here. Wait, what is this? Kate Gosselin tried to sue me. It went nowhere. Oh my gosh. I need to catch up on comments. Hold on. So I didn't know that he actually repped Candace as well. No idea. And then it also says that Blake Lively and TMZ are also represented by the same attorney in an open case. Wow. It's a really tangled web. All of these people represented by the same people. But Brian Friedman is very close with Mark Garagos. Mark Garagos also serves as Brian Friedman's attorney sometimes. And Mark Garagos and Brian Friedman have co-repped people like, I believe, Raquel Leviss and maybe Bethany Frankel. And Mark Garagos and Harvey Levin are co-hosts of Two Angry Men, their TMZ like lawyer podcast. I mean, we could do like get the boards, the wild, like the strings, right? We need the connections of the lawyers of America. Really interesting. Okay. So I hear that Candace is planning a big show today to talk about it. We are going to have to talk about it. So they did talk about Candace and Perez, the travels of the mischaracterization embraced by the opposition through this. And I talked about this yesterday on my show, basically, that they're saying that it's getting everything that is being said in this case is getting parroted by all the content creators. The big ones are talking about it. The smaller ones are talking about it. Then commenters are talking about it. And they think that all we're doing is, we're hearing it and we're saying it. Whatever Brian says, we're saying it. Whatever I say, you guys say. And this is how it works. But I don't know about you guys. If I say something and you disagree with, I truly believe that you guys would say, Donna, no, I think you're wrong. Right? I think you would say you're wrong. In fact, yesterday I covered the Baldwin show. And do you know, I've never seen so many people disagree with me in all of my life. Well, yes, I have. But yesterday was a big one. So many of you guys disagreed with me. I think so many of you maybe unfollowed me because I said, enjoy the hot mess of the Baldwin show. I think you guys think I have a crush on Alec Baldwin. I do not. Nicola says we should all have PhDs by now with all of them, all of these narcissists. Seriously. But I truly believe you guys really hated my take on watching the Baldwin show just to get a reprieve and actually look at your own life in a more positive way. You have your own opinions. I have my own opinions. We all have our own opinions. I think we're okay. I am not a parrot. Please don't call me a parrot, Blake. Excuse me, Blake. I don't like it. So Christina says, I think this is all about protecting Taylor Swift's reputation, especially after the Super Bowl. 100%. 100%. And I do think that it's all about, it's not just Taylor. I think it's about protecting a lot of people. I think there's a lot of high profile people that are subtly involved with this. I mean, think about how deep this can go with Hugh Jackman, with Bradley Cooper, with Gigi Hadid. Who knows how many people could be somehow involved with these text messages and these communications. Think about how many lies there could be involved here. I am no one's parrot. I hate parrots. Sorry to the birds of America, but I did hang out with one parrot one time. And it was really a challenging day for me. My voice is annoying enough. Why do I need to hear it 2 times? Can you imagine if there was 2 of me? Can you imagine if I talked and then I had someone else saying, "Ma, ma, ma," again? You guys would change the channel. It would be a tough, difficult day. Melissa Sherman says, and she's an attorney, imagine if Blake Lively just filed the sexual harassment complaint privately as one does and didn't turn this into a circus. Imagine there's no country. Yeah, imagine. Molly Dare is here. She is laughing because she talks to me on the phone all day. Billy says, hey, I have a parrot. She is awesome. She loves to talk back. Does she parrot me when she listens to Daily Dose of Donna? If she does, I would like video. It's your daily dose of Donna. I want to hear parrots say that back to me. Okay. So listen, Lively is snaking her way down the hole, down the path of hell. I did see a video last night and I screen recorded it of Ryan Reynolds walking down the street. He got captured by paparazzi and I screen recorded it and I had all these like dreams and hopes that I was going to do a video of like making it slow motion of just like when you know your life is over and you're slowly walking down the street. And then I fell asleep. But I'll work on it. Don't you worry. I'll work on it. You guys are adorable. Are you subscribed, by the way, before I get into my next story? I have so many other stories. Like, I want to talk about 15 things today. I want to talk about Dave Portnoy. I want to talk about Alex Earl and Alex Cooper. Like, I want to talk about 500 things. So don't worry. We're going to get into all of it today. I want to talk about, like, I'm going to talk about the music composer of Blake Lively tomorrow. Don't worry. There's so much. There's so much to talk about, but I'm going to switch it up. Before we get into our next story is brought to you by OLLIE, okay? OLLIE is the dog food of my dreams. Why? Because my dog's poops. I keep saying that, but I mean it, okay? OLLIE is the cleanest, freshest nutrition for your dog in 5 flavors that they will absolutely flip over. We all want the best for our pups, and you don't have to be a vet to know that real whole foods with minimal processing are one of the best choices for your health. Did you know a perfectly portioned whole fresh food diet can actually extend your dog's life by 2.5 years? That's more time with your best friend. Who wouldn't want that? OLLIE is made with 0 harmful fillers, no preservatives, and the best part, it's all made right here in U.S. kitchens with ingredients carefully sourced from trusted growers and producers around the world. And because OLLIE is gently cooked and shipped fresh, it doesn't need preservatives to stay fresh. Your dog gets a meal packed with goodness, no waiting around. They have 5 different recipes. Protein first, like fresh beef with sweet potatoes, fresh turkey with blueberries, etc. Seriously, you'll be thinking, dang, my dog's got a better diet than I do. And they really do. Okay, you fill out a 30-second quiz. You get a starter box with 2 weeks worth of meals. You can freeze them and then just take them out a day before and let them thaw in your fridge. It's super easy. It comes with a box. It's great. So go to ollie.com/daily dose. That's OLLIE.com/daily dose. Tell them about your dog. Use code daily dose, one word, to get 60% off. That's 60% off your first box when you subscribe today. Plus, you get a clean bowl guarantee. So if you're not completely satisfied, you'll get your money back. That's OLLIE.com/daily dose and enter code daily dose to get 60% off your first box. Start your dog's new year right off with OLLIE. Okay. You guys, it's breaking news, but it's not shocking news. And in fact, it's great news. Karen Huger has been sentenced to jail for her 4th DUI, which I believe is considered a felony. I think it's a felony. And I will tell you, am I a horrible person to say good and also not enough? Exactly. Like Dana Maria says, Fafo, Karen Huger, Fafo. I can't tell you how happy I am to hear that justice was served. I lost all patience for this woman after seeing that video and then finding out it was her 2nd DUI. But when I found out it was her 4th DUI, I said, what? I have zero tolerance, patience, nada for someone like this. This is really not okay, you guys. And honestly, as one of my friends, Sarah, said in my DMs today, Sarah is a great doser, and she is, she struggled with sobriety, and now she's sober, and she feels really passionate about this. And she said, Bravo may have some like blood on their hands for this. How in the world do you hire someone who has had this on their record? She had multiple DUIs before she was hired on Bravo. Multiple. I don't get it. 1 year she was sentenced after being found guilty of DUI. She learned her fate this morning in her hearing in Montgomery County. She was sentenced to a 2-year prison term with 1 year suspended. What does that mean? Attorneys, do you know that? 1 year suspended. 1 year in jail, 1 year suspended. Don't really know. It says she has 30 days to file an appeal, which she absolutely should not. Reportedly got emotional, finally, while speaking to the judge at the sentence. She said, I understand better the brutal clarity of the fact that when you're behind a car driving, you're not just driving for yourself, Huger told the judge. It's my responsibility to make sure that my community members make it where they need to be safely. Before Montgomery County Circuit Court Judge Terrence McGann sentenced Huger, he pointed out that Huger had faced 4 driving violations since 2006. Can we believe that she's only driven while intoxicated 4 times in the last 17 years? Or is it more likely that she's been very lucky and her inebriation has gone undetected? He asked. 100%. 100%. I believe, okay, so the answer to the sentencing is, Melissa says, it is actually a limit on the amount of time she can be sentenced to if she violates her 5 years of probation. So she can get sentenced to another year. Meaning, so the judge is saying she was caught 4 times in 17 years. Does that mean that she hasn't ever drank and drove other than those 4 times? Probably not. I'm assuming she drove drunk multiple times through the years, and these are just the 4 times she got caught. How do you drive drunk once and then continue to do it? But apparently a lot of you guys in the comments are saying that you have had experiences, and many of you have had loved ones pass away from repeat drunk drivers. This is why this is such a horrible, horrible issue. And so many of you guys are so upset by this, rightfully so. And here's the thing, a glass of wine and getting, pulled over because you are a little bit over your legal limit and you forget to put on your blinker is bad enough. But the way that this woman was and the status that she was in, the state that she was in, I should say, when she got pulled over, if you watch that 30-minute video, and if you want to watch the state that she was pulled over, and their 30-minute body cam video that Karen Huger that was released in December was so traumatizing to watch. It's mind-blowing. I've never seen someone that seems that off her rocker. It's almost like she gets more drunk through the evening and then goes to work the next day or goes to her show the next day, like films Real Housewives of Potomac a couple months later and acts like everything's fine. She never takes accountability. She says, oh, I'm just grateful I'm okay. She was in a blackout. Yes, it was insane. Prosecutors previously said they were only seeking 6 months, while Huger's attorneys had said they were pushing for rehab instead of jail time. Huger was convicted by the jury in December following a 2-day trial and a 5-hour deliberation. She was found guilty of 5 out of 6 charges, including driving under the influence, negligent driving, failure to control speed, and failure to notify authorities. So the prosecutors only wanted 6 months, and the judge gave her a year, or 2 years, I should say, with only 1 year in jail. In January, Huger's rep revealed that she had checked herself into rehab, and that's why she didn't go to the reunion. But we found out that the rehab wasn't even like a real rehab. I'm telling you, I have no sympathy. Sorry. And I don't even believe that she still has come forward with accountability. I don't even think, what did she say in her sentencing here? She said, I understand better the brutal clarity. It's my responsibility to make sure that my community members make it where they need to be. I understand it's my responsibility. That doesn't really sound like accountability. If I were her, I would say I made an incredible, horrible, tragic decision. And I am so sorry. And I completely take accountability for my actions. And I will absolutely never do that again. And I deserve this punishment. Like, I would say something completely showing remorse, right? So she apparently they pulled her straight, they took her into jail from there. And apparently she said something to Ray right in the moment. I did see someone, my girl Bravo and Blaze. I did see Bravo and Blaze post that she was following someone straight on Twitter who was covering the trial. And saying the We I Go podcast on Twitter or on X, saying, I believe they're taking her into custody right now. As Karen was being taken into custody, she yelled, "You love you, Ray. God's got you. You'll be all right. God bless you." Ray said the kids are a little hurt by this. Her lawyer asked if Ray was aware of everything that Karen has done in the last few months to get help. He said yes. He told the judge Karen is doing very well and has recovered from the accident, and Karen is crying. The prosecution isn't really buying the reason given for Karen choosing that recovery spot. This is like all stuff that was being live tweeted during the moment. Her lawyer said she is a good person, has been gracious through this experience. He has asked the judge for a suspended sentence, 3 years probation. Apparently, Karen is speaking. She apologized for bringing this to trial and was arrogant in thinking she could handle alcohol. Yeah. Crazy. Oh, what else is going on? We I Go podcast. Thank you, P. Lee. There you go. I had never heard of it before. I'm going to have to listen to it. Should have thought about Ray before Grand Dame. Thank you, Ray. My girl Ray said, should have thought about Mr. Ray before Grand Dame. Birthday girl Ray said that. Yep. A good person doesn't drive drunk 4 times that we know of. Well, you could be a good person that has an issue, is the truth. You could just be a good person that has a very, very strong struggle. And she needs to come to terms with the struggle, because I believe that is, I mean, I don't want to say that she has a problem with alcohol if she can't say that she has a problem with alcohol. But if you cannot stop drinking before you drive, I think that you have a problematic relationship with that substance, right? Like, if you can't do that, why? All right. Let's talk briefly about Alex Cooper and Alex Earl. I was going to say Alex Cooper and Alex Cooper. Let's talk briefly about the Alex, Dave Portnoy sitch, from what I know. And then we'll get into Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. How about that? This is kind of, I thought this was big news in the podcast world, because I didn't know a thing about this, because I don't follow Alex Earl well at all. And I actually don't even follow Alex Cooper that well, other than I just see when she has big interviews. No offense to Alex Cooper, I don't find her to be the most dynamic podcaster out there. I think that there's great interviewers out there. Do you think that that's like a horrible thing for me to say? I just don't find her to be the best interviewer out there. Alex Cooper is the podcast host behind Call Her Daddy. And she obviously is one of the biggest, she got the biggest Spotify deal behind, like, I think Joe Rogan a few years back. She's a huge podcaster. And she just signed a massive deal with SiriusXM, which is so wild to me that, like, SiriusXM has all this money. I'm so confused by this. I read that Howard Stern is like really angry about this, because Howard Stern's feeling like kind of a little butthurt about this. Very confusing. But it's not personal against Alex. It's just her style doesn't hit me. It doesn't connect to me. But she gets great guests. She has the right people. She has the right connections. But look, I don't love Nick Viall either. I don't love his style either. But he also gets really good reality TV guests. I don't understand. but that's okay. Like, not everyone's for everyone. It's not personal. I'm pretty impressed that these people get these really, goals, right? Goals, 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 goals. So, Alex Cooper yesterday, I read when I was getting my nails done. Got my nails done finally. For all of you following the red nail saga during the Blake Lively red nail saga, I just was with my red nails. I didn't have time to get my nails done in this entire thing. But Alex Earl, who got crazy famous on TikTok throughout the TikTok reign. She got millions of followers. She went viral on TikTok. This young college graduate. She's basically your typical get ready with me, University of Miami graduate. Pretty rich, all of these things. Got signed to do a podcast under Alex Cooper. Admittedly, I'm not following every second of this. I have no idea. These girls are too young for me. I have no idea what's going on, right? And I would never listen to Alex Earl's podcast. Again, no offense. I'm just not their demographic. Way too old. And apparently yesterday, Alex Earl's Hot Mess podcast was dropped by Alex Cooper's media company, which is called Unwell. Very confused by that as well. Unwell. She has a water company called Unwell. Not to judge. I would not drink water called Unwell again. But yesterday, it says that the Call Her Daddy host, that's Alex Cooper's media company, gave up the rights to Alex Earl's show, leaving her free to explore other opportunities. Apparently, there's some weird feud between the two. I don't know if that's true. I was given like a little bit of a scoop that I guess Alex Earl's podcast, she wants to explore other opportunities. Her dad is a businessman. They're very wealthy. I guess long form content isn't really her thing. And so she's leaving Alex Cooper to kind of do her own thing. Here's a picture just so you guys kind of have a visual of what these girls look like. If you're wondering if you're seeing double, it's probably because they literally look like, it's like AI. These are what these girls are. Okay. They're literally two blonde twins. Okay. I truly sometimes can't tell them apart. So Alex Earl and Alex Cooper are splitting ways. Alex Cooper, meanwhile, she gets huge guests. Like today, she has Monica Lewinsky on her show. I'm dying to listen to that. She was also one of the famous ones that she got a lot of press for interviewing Kamala Harris during the campaign. She gets huge guests. She got Ariana Madix right after Scandival. She got, she gets like Paris Hilton and Nicole Richie. She gets like a lot of big names during scandal times, whatever. So, oh my God, Heather. Heather said they look like the Wayans brothers and White Chicks. That's hilarious. So why does how does Dave Portnoy come in here? Okay. Dave Portnoy comes in because Dave Portnoy runs Barstool Sports. And we've talked about Dave Portnoy a bunch on the show because he was part of that whole, I like Dave Portnoy, believe it or not. I'm a big fan, but he was part of that whole Brianna Chicken Fry, Zach Bryan drama. We're not going to get into that again, but he likes the drama. He gets like kind of into the girl drama. And he ran the podcast network where Alex Cooper and Call Her Daddy started. So the second that this news hit, he started to kind of troll everyone. And he started to post on his Instagram stories and on his Instagram that he was calling Alex Earl. He trolled his followers on Tuesday with a screenshot of a 22-minute phone call between himself and Alex Earl saying like, I'm on it. So clearly he's making phone calls. He's calling Alex Earl and doing it. And the reason why he's doing that is because right after Grace O'Malley, who's a big, big podcaster, and she was part of Barstool, left Barstool in a very kind of like feudy way a couple months ago, Alex Cooper posted on TikTok the same kind of screenshot where she called Grace O'Malley, and it said that they had a 30-minute phone call. So he did the exact same thing, showing that he was calling Alex Earl. I'll show you guys the screenshots right here. It's actually really funny. So this is what his is. And it's a video, and it says Alex Earl knew. It says outgoing call 22 minutes, 4:47 p.m. And it's like a song, right? And people are dying of laughter. He's drinking his High Noon, which he sponsors. And then this was the original, and it's Alex Cooper drinking a glass of wine, and it says incoming call with Grace O'Malley, 38 minutes. So he's absolutely trolling the fact that he's trying to basically take Alex Earl over to Barstool after Alex Cooper took Grace O'Malley to her network. So Alex Cooper, who used to work for Dave Portnoy, they're both kind of like heading their own networks now. I love Dave Portnoy. I think he's a genius businessman. I love that he's like, he doesn't take himself too seriously. He's really into sports. He's really into tech. He says what's on his mind. He doesn't care about saying the unpopular opinion. I find him hysterical to watch. So I love this little feud. And a lot of you guys that have been around here for a long time find this hysterical as well. Okay, let's move on. One more ad, and then we'll talk about Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. And I appreciate you guys for being here with me and all of these ads. It really means a lot to me. So let's give love to Hers. As you guys know, I am a huge fan of Hers. I've been taking Hers. Oh my God. I've been getting this phone call. They have to stop calling me. Hers. Okay. Through Weight Loss by Hers, you can give yourself something to be. I don't understand. I have my phone on Do Not Disturb and they keep calling me. Through Weight Loss by Hers, you can give yourself something to be excited about in 2025. You can spend the new year in control of your weight by losing up to an average of 9 pounds in your first month. This is based on data that real Hers customers Hers customers have reported based on their personalized compounded GLP-1 treatment plans. Let's face it, weight loss can feel overwhelming. That's why Hers is changing the game. By providing access to GLP-1 medications plus expert care, they make your goals more achievable. Hers is transforming women's healthcare by providing access to affordable weight loss treatment plans delivered straight to your door if prescribed. Hers offers a holistic weight loss program with personalized solutions, including compounded GLP-1 weekly injections, featuring the same active ingredient as Ozempic and Wegovy, or oral medication kits. After submitting an online intake form, a licensed medical provider will determine what plan is best for you. If prescribed, your program includes medication, ongoing care, and online support, all at one low cost. Weight loss plans are more affordable through Hers with compounded GLP-1 injections starting at $165 per month with a 12-month plan upfront for new subscribers. No hidden fees and no membership fees. So if you've been struggling with your weight loss journey, it's time for you to find the best option that works for you through Hers. Start your initial free online visit today at forhers.com/dailydose. That's FORHERS.com/dailydose. That's FORHERS.com/dailydose for your personalized weight loss treatment options. Hers weight loss is not available everywhere. Compounded products are not FDA approved or verified for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription required. Restrictions apply. Wegovy and Ozempic are not compounded. Actual price depends on product and plan purchased. All right, we got to get into Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I'm so sorry. I got so many phone calls. Okay. All right, let's talk about it. Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Thank you, Wanda. Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Who watched? Did you guys like it? I thought it was a phenomenal episode. What a good episode. So I will tell you one thing. I won't do like a full recap. I don't like calling these. I don't like doing full recaps, but I will tell you one thing. I cannot get over how unlikable, in my opinion, Sutton was in this episode. And this, to me, was something that I have not seen in all my years of the show. And I've heard the stories of Sutton. I've seen the stories of Sutton. I know that a lot of people have felt this way about Sutton, but I've not personally experienced the wrath of Sutton Stracke until I saw last night's episode at this caftan and caviar party. I could not believe how cruel and how mean Sutton Stracke got in this episode. It was quite possibly one of the meanest versions of Sutton I had personally seen. And when I tell you, it almost felt like, dare I say, Reba came out of her. Not to mention, did she not look also tired? She looked some tired in this episode. She looked tired. She looked sad. She looked cold. She looked angry. Sutton has very, very, very deep-seated anger towards Dorit, and I'm not exactly sure why. I was watching the after show after, and I haven't figured exactly out like what specifically is their problem, because I was trying to like figure out what was their big issue. What specifically happened between Dorit and Sutton to make them hate each other so much? And the honest truth is nothing. Nothing specifically has happened between the two of them. All that happened was that they just never really got along. They never really fully connected. They never saw each other on the same level. Dorit seems to think that Sutton is cold, fake, rude. She pretends that she's being nice, and then she turns around and stabs you in the back. She pretends that she's being proper and kind and sweet, but then she's just really mean back. Dorit thinks that Garcelle, for some reason, just hates her, and she and Sutton kind of like fight together against her. Sutton thinks that Dorit is the fakest person in the world. These are all things that they said on the after show. That Sutton feels like Dorit is the fakest person in the world, that she has absolutely no money. She has major, major financial issues. This is literally what Sutton said today when I was watching the after show. She has financial issues. She is in foreclosure of her house. She has horrible marriage issues, and she acts like everything is completely fine. And for this reason, she can't stand her. She also, and she's not saying this, hates the fact that she's being called out for what I believe personally, in my opinion, Donna Bowling's opinion, and Donna Bowling's opinion only. She believes that she's being called out because she is being seen for what she really is, with someone that has a drinking problem. I think that Dorit sees Sutton and calls Sutton out for a drinker, and Sutton hates it because Sutton drinks. I'm sorry. You can't watch this show and not notice that there is not one episode and not one scene that Sutton does not have a cocktail in her hand. Let's not like pussyfoot around this. And Sutton can't handle it. She can't handle it that she's being called out for it. And for that reason, it's triggering to her. It's upsetting her. Because Sutton's trying to make fun of Dorit in the after show. She's like, I'm gonna call Dorit out for what she does with her vodka and the lemons and the carcasses and the lemons and the rinds and the lemons and the carcasses. And I bet if she went to Dorit straight up and she's like, you're always drinking your vodka with the lemons and the carcasses, Dorit would be like, so what? I have vodka sodas when I go out to dinner. What's the big deal? Because it's not an issue for Dorit. I've never once in my life, ever while watching the show and seeing Dorit on the show for how many years now, have you guys ever questioned Dorit's relationship with alcohol? Have you? Never once. So I do not question Dorit's relationship with alcohol. I have never once thought it was a problem. I've never once questioned Garcelle's relationship with alcohol. I've never once questioned many of those girls' relationships with alcohol. But Sutton, when you're bringing grapefruit juice in your bag to make sure that your cocktail is perfect, it does feel strange. There is a little bit of a strange thing going on there. And when you have to have a roadie before you go to every single event you're going to, there's something going on there. It's triggering to her and it's upsetting to her, which is why she can't stand her. She's calling her out. But Sutton came to Dorit's house last week, that 4th of July party, angry. She came angry. And for her not to be greeted like a queen, like Queen Elizabeth at the front door of a freaking backyard barbecue with her red sneakers, not to be treated like a queen, it was so obnoxious to watch. Dorit's life is falling apart. She's going through a divorce in a foreclosed house with 4,000 boxes. Her house is in boxes upstairs. We saw what a mess her life is. Yet Sutton can't just be casual at a friend's house and just like bring herself in and get a drink and just like get a hot dog and chill. She needs to sit there like prim and proper, like, where am I? It was so obnoxious. And then be so upset. And then when Dorit, it was an uncomfortable joke with the purse when Dorit got the purse. But the only reason it got uncomfortable is because Sutton didn't play along. If Sutton just played along, was like, yeah, girl, take my purse. Yeah, no problem. Put it, I'll rent it to you for. It got uncomfortable because Sutton didn't play along. So Dorit was playing a joke alone. All of it was uncomfortable. Do I think Dorit's perfect? Absolutely not. But like, give Dorit a second. Give her a second of grace. Dorit came to that caftan party, did not want to start shit with Sutton. She came specifically and said, I don't want to fight. She didn't want to start shit with Sutton, but Sutton was angry. She came to fight. When she made it all about herself at the 4th of July party, calling her a bitch, and then left and made everyone come to her. And then when she came to the caftan party, she came looking like Alec Baldwin at the it's going to sound really mean, but she looked tired. She looked tired and looked like she had 7 kids and 8 cats. And she came ready to attack Dorit. And she went after Dorit in such a crass way. She went after Dorit and called her Porit and said, mess with someone who has the same size wallet. Have you ever talked to anyone like that? I've never. Talk to someone about your brains. Talk to someone about your wit. Talk to someone about your skill set. Talk to someone about a lot of things. Even about your size. If you want to talk about like fight with someone your own age, fight with someone your own size. Don't tell me that I'm not allowed to talk to you because I'm not as rich as you. That, I don't know if that's a trigger for me because I grew up in Beverly Hills because I was like the poor kid on the other side of the tracks. That is such a trigger for me. I don't know why. That was it for me. I would never be able to look at her the same again. It was gross. Especially when you just married rich. Sorry. What did you do? You married a rich man and you got a really good divorce settlement. You got lucky. Like Bose can say that. Bose is a self-made rich AF woman. She worked her ass off for every single one of those dollars. She's a CEO, she's a CFO, she's a freaking hustler. I'm sorry. Sutton? What? So when Sutton went low, I saw Reba. I did not like it. I didn't like it. And a lot of you guys are thinking if you really like Sutton and you hate Dorit, you're saying, well, she was sick of Dorit. Okay, fine. I get that. But you didn't have to go there. If she didn't go that low, I would have understood the fight. But that turned me off of her so much. I don't know if I can even ever look at Sutton the same, especially because she didn't even sound apologetic in the after show. She sounded like I still feel the same way. Gross. Chris says, what does I saw Reba mean? Because her mom, Reba, is cold as ice. And that's what I saw. I saw a really cold, toxic person in that moment. And meanwhile, she's going through, Dorit's going through the separation. Who knows what she's going through? And sometimes people need to pretend everything's fine on the outside. Am I that person? No. But if Dorit was falling apart, which by the way, Dorit went through the hardest times of her life with that robbery, and Sutton had zero sympathy for her. Sutton is the worst in that sense. And I gave Sutton a pass every year. Last season, the season before, I was like, but Sutton's funny. Remember how horrible Sutton was after the robbery when Kyle was like, oh my God, and PK was crying. And Sutton's like, I've been putting out fires too with the interior designer. And I was giving Sutton a pass. I was like, but Sutton is so funny. She's kind of awful. She has no sympathy for people going through hard times. She doesn't give a shit. She actually doesn't care when people are struggling. Now that I think about it. And you know what really pissed me off? Is that no one was coming to Sutton's defense, except who had to? Miss Garcelle. Wasn't that funny? When Garcelle was like, well, Dorit, remember when you da-da-da-da-da-da-da? And I wanted to say, hey. I thought we're not allowed to do that. Remember when you attacked Bose, Garcelle, for doing the exact same thing? For standing up for Dorit? I thought we're not allowed to stand up for our friends. Why is Garcelle allowed to stand up for Sutton, but Bose isn't allowed to stand up for Dorit? I did not understand anything Sutton did last night. She totally went after Dorit for no reason and kind of ruined Jennifer's event because it was a lovely event. And what I would do to sit there, I would just be shoving caviar down my face. If I was sitting at that table, I would just be shoving that caviar. Sutton had evil in her eyes looking at Dorit at that table. It was really strange. Should I show you the picture again? It was like, I saw a side of Sutton I had never seen. She didn't look like herself either. She truly did not look like herself. It was so weird. Because she's looked beautiful this season, but she didn't look like herself in this episode. Like tired and angry. It was really strange. And Faye kept it fun. Faye's like, who cares? I drink too. Like no one thinks the drinking is that big of a deal in the comments that Dorit has made, except Sutton, because it's hitting somewhere. You know how they say like it affects you that much when it's true? That's why. That's why. Ration says nobody defended Dorit. Why? I think that they actually did defend Dorit. Erica kind of did. And Bose was doing her, oh, ow, wow, whoa, that she does. And Kyle kind of stood up for her too. Kyle kind of did. HC says Sutton was fed up because she's constantly called an alcoholic by Dorit, the forever victim. Dorit called PK an alcoholic, which was ghastly. She's been calling Sutton that too. But has she? Honestly, has she? That one season, she talked about her drinking early in the morning, but so did Kyle and Crystal. The three of them talked about it. Kyle's gotten off, and then Kyle even mentioned it again at that dinner party. So why is Dorit the only one? Why is Dorit the only one that is getting so much hate? Sutton hates Dorit. Just Dorit. It's interesting. I find it all an interesting thing. I think it's Garcelle. I think it's Garcelle and Sutton together. They like talk each other up about how much they hate her. Anyway, well, you can see both sides. I'm not saying Dorit's perfect. Like there's a lot of issues there too, but I can see both sides. All right, you guys. Oh, Billy says, "Oh, can you address the Dubrows talking Teddy update? I hope she's right and they're positive and she's positively on the mend." Well, obviously, as you guys know, I will okay, 1 second. Sorry. Finishing up. I will be done here in a second. Hold on. Teddy released a statement, I hear. Ray, can you send it to me? Okay. Teddy released a statement, Teddy Mellencamp, saying, "I am so grateful for the incredible surgeons, doctor, and nurses who made my surgery a success and my recovery process comfortable. In full transparency, more tumors were removed than expected, 4 in total. This fight is not over, but that round has been won. The laughter, support, and patience of my kids, my family, and my closest friends is one gift with which words cannot properly express my gratitude. As I move on to the next steps in my treatment, I just wanted to say thank you to everybody for the outpouring of love and prayers. I see them and they're definitely helping me stay strong." And then she included a picture of the tumors that are huge, which I knew of. They're huge in her brain and they're very, very intense. It was really, really scary. I'm glad she finally released an update because I know all of you guys were really scared and really questioning things. And I was really not sure what to do about telling you guys, but I'm glad she was able to release an update. I believe she is still in the hospital. I think she is still in the hospital. Yeah, as of yesterday, she was. So I'm sure she's still in the hospital and she is healing, and that's good. She released an update yesterday for her daughter's birthday. But as you guys can see, those are absolutely large tumors. Large. So you can only imagine how they were affecting her with pain, etc. So it was a huge surgery, and that's why she's still been in the hospital, because that is an incredibly invasive, hard surgery. Okay. Love you guys very much. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for subscribing. What a big show. I'll talk to you guys soon. Have a great day. Bye.